Wait, I thought I already watched it. Oh shit, dude. Okay, sorry. Okay, fuck. Content.
My good friend Ian, also known as Idubbbz, released a content cop about me. His video's over an hour long and it's full of a lot of accusations. We watched the entire video, every frame of it, responded to every accusation on the podcast and a really long episode. We watched the whole thing. So if you're interested in a more thorough response to everything, I would recommend watching this episode. The video that I'm making today, however, I don't need an hour for, because there's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time. In the entire video, he never says CPS. No mention, no explanation, no overview, nothing. Zero mentions of CPS. A few weeks ago, Child Protective Services showed up to our house at 6 a.m. to interrogate us about an anonymous tip they got that our kids were crawling around and eating dog shit at catching diseases. Ian spends the majority of his video characterizing me like a raving lunatic who's lashing out at everyone around me with zero provocation.
Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. And I feel like I am speaking up.
That's a crazy thing to say, okay? I wouldn't even want to be like 25 meters in the distance of this asshole, except for the fact that he might boost my career, okay? That's it, okay? That's the only reason.
For a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
What he doesn't say is the majority of these clips he's using are taken from this episode. Now, does he ever show the title of this episode? No, he does not ever show the title of this episode. Snark called Child Protective Services on us. Not only does he not show the title, he doesn't explain why I'm...
Right, so I've talked about this before, okay? Here's the deal, okay? If you don't address every single allegation, people are gonna think that you're disingenuous and you're lying. And so you are disingenuous and you are lying, for the record, okay? Because here's the deal, okay? This is concern trolling. Yes, Boko is completely correct. This is concern trolling. Because this is gaslighting, crazy making, and concern trolling, okay? These are all like fucking abusive behavior shit, all right? Because again, the entire point of Ethan Klein, all right, and his entire beef with Hassan right now and his orbit is the CPS shit. Is because they took one step too far. They went to CPS in real life territory, called CPS on Ethan and his kids, and that's what caused this entire crazy escalation in drama, all right? That's what caused Ethan Klein to double down on his crusade against them. So the fact that Idubbbz even leaves that out and then goes to Psychology in Seattle, and then Psychology in Seattle then tries to crazy make the entire situation is just fucking insane to me. Like, this is just unacceptable behavior, and honestly, I think Idubbbz should be fucking canceled, okay? Frankly, all right? The psychologist they brought on deleted his video about it, really? Well, probably because Ethan Klein talked to Seattle. And then he realized that it was a bad idea to associate with these kinds of people. These people are fucking insane, okay? But yeah. All right. This is, yeah.
I'm upset, who I'm mad at, why I'm mad at them. Zero context. I am just an anonymous, screaming lunatic.
It's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your, like, this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say, like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack.
In this episode, the same day that CPS came to my home, I was understandably irate. This was a provocation that I had not experienced. It went into my real world, was affecting my children and my life in a way that I found extremely disturbing and an escalation that I found very unacceptable. Now, why am I mad at Ian for this? Well, let's start here. Debunking is someone he's accusing me of in his video of harassing. Let's see what Debunking said about my children 3 days before CPS was called.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with.
Bro, I hope Bad Empanada gets... If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
With their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up.
Bro, I just love it when people do the Asmongold method of saying, is this true? Is this true? Is it true? While doing zero fact checking, zero due diligence, okay? I mean, I say it too, but then it's like, at least I do research. Like, at least I Google search things. At least I ask Grok at the very least. Like, what the fuck, dude? What the actual fuck? These people are just so fucking... Sorry, they're not being stupid. Like, they're actually being evil. They're being evil. It's evil, right? The campaign against Ethan is an attempt for the left to create a locale. Exactly. That's what it is. And here's the thing, okay? I actually disagree with some of Ethan's approach to this, but the people that he's up against is so fucking reprehensible. It's so crazy. There's no way for me to make fun of Ethan Klein sometimes because people like Debunking and whatever are like just much worse. Why Grok? Because because Grok, I have a fucking hostage kidnapper relationship with Grok. Okay, Grok is the kidnapper. Okay.
Up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
We already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything...
Bro, I'm kind of just like fucking done with the practice of concern trolling, okay? The practice of concern trolling is like one of the most abusive. It's e-raping, okay? Concern trolling is e-raping, okay? That's what it is, okay? Concern trolling is e-raping. That's what it is, okay? Every single time I watch somebody do concern trolling, like Debunking is doing here, like, oh, I'm just so worried for Ethan's kids. I'm so worried for whatever. Like, bitch, you're not only being dishonest, but you don't give a fuck about his kids. In fact, you actually want Ethan's kids to die. You actually want Ethan's kid to be absolutely fucking decimated, okay, burned in the crib. All right, the reason you want this is because it would suit your narrative. It would help your narrative in attacking Ethan Klein, because it would give you an easier angle to attack from. That's what it would be, right? Like, it's so stupid. And here's the thing, okay, it's not just left-wingers, right? It's also right-wingers, because fucking right-wingers like Asmongold would do the same exact fucking thing, and I'm fucking tired of it, right? Like, he would say something like, oh, Destiny, I'm just like worried about your political movement. I'm just worried about your whatever, despite having zero political experience, zero political activism experience. Well, I'm pretty sure he does have activism experience, but he campaigned for Obama, but he wouldn't tell you about that right now. Anyway, the point is, I mean, I think, okay, allegedly, okay. But like, again, it's so stupid. These people would concern troll, and they would never ever be in the same position as anyone. Like, is Debunking a parent? Is Frogan a parent? Would Hassan even have the wherewithal to have the gall to be a parent for his casual fucking of porn stars and going to brothels? Like, hello? Like what do you know about being a fucking parent?
That I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew.
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
Wow.
It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening? How is this happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't even make fun of people's weight. I've never made fun of people's weight. I do make fun of people's posture. If you're making an active decision that like you don't give a fuck about your health or your posture or your dog shitting all over the house to the point where your kids are getting giardia, that's the image of someone who is not well. Wait, what? Wait, what, Dams? Wait, what? You guys didn't know about this? Yeah. Meth-Zempic diet. Oh, God.
Even after CPS was called, Denham's attempted to justify it by claiming that it's okay because children can't be traumatized.
I don't want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him,
create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes, you are. No.
Well, you just heard it here, folks, okay? It's okay to rape 3-year-olds. According to Denham's, it's okay to rape 3-year-olds, okay? Because they won't remember it, so it's okay.
Oh, you're not. When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
If you're wondering who the guy is she's watching, his name is Bad Empanada. And as far as harassment campaigns go, you'd think that Ian, as someone who cares so deeply about it, would be talking about him and not me. Here's a small taste.
Yes. God, that's such a good point. Okay, fuck, that's such a good fucking point. Yes, that's absolutely true. If you actually cared about bullying and harassment and just plain evil, you should be talking about Bad Empanada, not Ethan Klein.
I'd like to pay tribute to Ethan Klein and the new Twitch TOS that declares Zionism. Zion is the slur. I'd like to pay tribute to him by playing the first in Al-Aqsa video game where you kill Zionist soldiers as a Palestinian resistance fighter. Anyways, are these Israelis? They're just standing there? I mean, is the Israeli army a bunch of Ethan Kleins? Like, they're all on a fucking Ozempic binge. They don't understand what's going on around them. They haven't noticed me. Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now.
So little bad, don't get rabies.
Secretary got...
Here's Bad
Dude,
Empanada once
Jesus.
again, who posted a story saying, I'm the one who called CPS on Ethan Klein. I want CPS to take his kids away because they are seriously in danger.
Today was pretty bad, wasn't it? Really sucked for you. You were so disappointed. The betrayal of one of your closest long-term friends, huh? Tick-tock, though, Ethan. Tick-tock, because this was just a taste. This was just a small part of what we have organized for you. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, Mr. Klein. Every day, sit there just waiting in misery, in fear of what we have in store for you. Tick-tock goes the clock.
Maybe if he stops harassing other creators.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion.
God, get this caveman out of my sight. Ugh, actual fucking scumfuck.
And he just leaves the shit on the floor.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace.
House is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit.
And I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you.
I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something.
I was particularly angry during this episode entitled Snark Called CPS on us, because I hold denims to be one of the primary reasons, in my opinion, why CPS was called. Another one of their friends, Froggy Tonic, had been spreading the same malicious rumor about me on Twitter for days before CPS was called as well.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit.
No, my
He called
Zoltan!
Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure.
Now let me show you the tweets that Ian conveniently omitted. Me when my 3 kids ask me why they haven't seen me in the past 4 months. I was in my basement. How can you shun a
I think there should be a word or something for like malicious censoring, leaving out information maliciously. Like, what should we call this? Like, what should we call this? Leaving out information maliciously, or what?
fallen fan when they worry about their 3 kids when they can't be bothered to protect their dogs? Ethan was neglectful with his dogs. He's already been neglectful with his kids, and he will continue to be. As a child of a neglectful
Lie by omission. Bell comment, yes, that's the correct phrase. Lie by omission. Lie by omission, that's it. Lie by omission.